going to get our country back from the invaders. Kind of like how the Pilgrims invaded this country from the Indians. But the Indians got sick from the European diseases and killed them. Oh, did you guys know they pardoned Hunter Biden? Check this out. I think this is it. Yep, here we go.
The effects of Viagra, but faster? Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil.
You're not a child, you're a man. So stop wearing so many layers to go outside and get the bearskin tactical hoodie 4.0.
See if we got any planes.
President Joe Biden has once again deceived.
They're not making, whatchamacallit there. They're not making, whatever you call it. Fucking runway cement. We gotta go on that hill. We haven't been on that hill for a little bit.
The American people. Over the weekend, President Biden decided to pardon his son, Hunter Biden, for all of his crimes dating back to January 1st of 2014.
That's crazy.
This was a direct contradiction of what the president had said he would do in the past. As he previously stated,
if I was him, I would have did the same thing, but at the same time,
I will do that, and I will not pardon.
Why did you lie about it for fucking months saying you weren't gonna do that? Just say, hey, I'm not speaking on it. I'm not gonna say whether I will or will not pardon Hunter. That's what he should have said. Instead of straight up saying, no, I'm not gonna pardon Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
And he pardoned him in a way to where he's protected from any crimes in the future, I think. I think it's low-level crimes. I don't know about high-level crimes like treason or some shit.
In response to expected backlash, President Joe Biden stated, "Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. I believe in the justice system, but I have wrestled with this. I also believe Rob has infected this process
because of him.
A miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision." Wow. Raw politics has infected your justice department?
Wow,
This
Biden
is a miscarriage of justice?
Sounds
what about
kind of
against
what you're doing.
Donald Trump?
Yeah, for real.
You didn't seem to care when raw politics was ruining his family and his
Even
life.
Putin bashed
You
you
didn't
on
seem
that.
to care about the miscarriage of justice. Oh, that's right, because behind the scenes, you and your White House lawyers were having secret meetings with every one of the lawyers that was going after Trump.
And they thought he was going to get found not guilty by the jury.
Hunter
That's why he was
is
saying
your
that.
son. But as a senator, you signed bills into law against drugs and guns and business dealings. There are literally tens of thousands of U.S. prisoners sitting in jail today because of laws you created,
Literally.
laws you voted on, and laws that you passed.
With
But
Bill
your
Clinton,
son
when you were
gets
vice
to have
president.
a free get-out-of-jail card. This isn't fair. It's not fair at all. Now, according to a post by War Clandestine on Twitter, Biden chose to extend the pardon
right here, see?
to 2014 because this
You guys
is the
see?
year Hunter Biden joined the board of Risma Energy Holdings.
She's got a baby on her back, see? She's like one of those, she's got a baby pouch. See, the baby's on her left, your right side if you're looking at it, but if you were in her body and her eyes, it's on her left side, see?
Dating back to 2014. After all, he was getting paid $1 million a year.
We got another one in front of us. Is that Shula Joe Jackson?
While his dad
No, it's not.
served as vice president of the United States.
And that looks like a migrant. Tell me it
When
don't.
Ukraine's prosecutor general started investigating Burisma Energy for
They couldn't help with the problem of rigging the election, so...
threatened to withhold $1 billion
Damn, you hear that?
in funding to Ukraine unless he was fired.
I got one more.
So while Biden labeled his decision as a way for a father to protect his son, he is likely protecting himself more than his son,
Seriously.
Hunter Biden. But President Biden isn't the only one who's getting backlash for backtracking. As Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre also previously insisted on multiple occasions that Joe Biden would not pardon his son.
And he did.
However, she is now defending Biden from the same pulpit about his decision following the narrative that Hunter is a victim of political injustice.
Oh, you mean like what you guys did to Trump?
This dude smoked crack. I mean, I literally saw the Laptop from Hell book. It's full of hookers and drugs and all kinds of craziness on him admitting to many of the crimes
that are in the Laptop from Hell
money and illegally avoiding taxation. So how can you say that your son is a victim of political injustice?
I agree.
And the president took action. And he also
Not
believes
using this runway, but
that
this is
they
a good
tried
spot
to
right
break
here to
his
park and watch
son
planes,
in
too.
order to break him. That's what we saw, she said. Now that Biden ripped the Band-Aid off, this pardon appears to be the first of many pardons. During a recent press conference, Karine Jean-Pierre stated, "I'm not going to get ahead of the president on this, but you could expect more announcements, more
Like,
pardons,
subscribe, share, thumbs
more
up, too.
clemency at the end of this term." Now, as the internet goes back and forth on whether this was the right move, President Donald Trump chimed in by stating, "Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages who have now been imprisoned for years?"
Yeah,
Such
right.
an
What about
abuse
them?
And miscarriage of justice.
Agreed. Now we got
Now, I
trains.
completely
And maybe
agree with
another
Trump
plane.
here.
we
Most
got
of
a
the
random-
January 6th protesters did
And we got a random bike coming up. Yeah, right. What? Hey, what kind of? I hope. Well, when did the January 6ers get out of jail? I think Corn Guy just recently got out. I'm not sure.
not commit crimes on the same magnitude as Hunter Biden. Hunter
Right.
Biden has been guilty of tax evasion,
Oh, the bike squad.
gun-related charges,
There's a DIY
and
bike
let's
right
not
here.
forget about all of
On
the
the left.
garbage that was on his laptop. In fact, it was so damning and so disgusting that 51 former intelligence agents lied to the American people and said that it was a Russian disinformation campaign. Now, to be fair, Trump has hinted that he may have pardoned Hunter Biden himself for the sake of the country. However,
Oh,
his
wow.
point still
Interesting.
stands. If you're going to pardon your own son for all of the horrible crimes he committed, then you shouldn't show favoritism and you should forgive other people.
I agree.
But now, former presidential candidate Andrew Yang is saying, to make it fair, President Joe Biden should pardon Donald Trump and tell the country it's time to reunite and it's time to
Yes,
move
I
forward.
agree.
Now, let me know in the comments, do you think that will happen?
Let me know in my comments.
I don't think it will.
I don't
And
think
in
it
fact,
will either.
I think Biden might pardon himself, and he's definitely going to pardon his brother, James Biden,
For
who has
sure.
also committed terrible
You should be able to
crimes,
pardon yourself as the
financially
president.
benefiting by milking the American people.
Yeah, he sure is milking
I've seen a
us.
lot of
He took all that nut up out of my dick.
Hunter is not a turkey.
Everyone's
He should not have
sick.
been pardoned. All right, now here is what Scott Jennings on CNN had to say about Biden pardoning his son Hunter. Scott Jennings took a blowtorch to Democrats over Joe Biden's pardon of Hunter Biden. Never again do I want to hear Trump's a liar.
For
You
real.
can't believe anything he says. Trump will
The
abuse
fuck?
his power.
No, that's what Joe
Trump
Biden's
will only
doing.
use the system to benefit himself.
Oh, you mean like Joe Biden did? Trump did
Never,
none of that.
ever again. Why did Hunter need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when
Damn.
Joe Biden was vice president? We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what.
Oh, I thought he was Bill Clinton's vice president. I guess he was Barack Obama's vice president, Joe Biden.
Crime.
His current puppet master, I'm sure.
And Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly when it happened. Biden is leaving office, making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump. Our government, our justice system is of, by, and for the elites, and nobody else.
Yeah, I agree.
Biden ran to banish Trumpism from the political system. And he left Trumpism politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure. Now, despite the current train wreck sitting in the Oval Office, there is still hope for a brighter future once Biden's term comes to an end. Now, I just want to pick
I
up
can't wait till it
on
comes
what
to
Scott
an end.
Jennings of CNN said there. All of this garbage in order to get Trump, embarrass Trump, humiliate Trump, jail Trump, get Trump.
Hey, like Putin said, even gangsters in Russia don't do that. They fight amongst men.
Assassinated, it all backfired. And now the MAGA movement is the strongest political movement in American history.
Damn right.
So
Make
it's all
America great again.
backfired. The pendulum has swung back the other way, and now it's time to go after these people for what they've done. Now, over the weekend, President Trump proudly announced Kash Patel will be the next director of the Federal Bureau
Who the fuck
of
is that?
Investigation.
He sounds like he's gonna.
Trump stated, "I am proud to announce that
that's
Kash
Trump's
Patel
guy.
will
All right,
serve
cool, good.
as the next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Kash is a brilliant lawyer, investigator, and
Hey, if any of those Secret Service workers like Trump that saw me at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago doing YouTube, hey, let Trump know, please. I would love, because he's supposed to be getting like little YouTube people like me, and those are going to be the people asking questions in the Oval Office, not like Fox News, CNN. It's going to be regular YouTube channels like mine. Trump, I could really, really use your invitation to your press briefings. I would love to ask you some questions, especially about saving our gas cars and about making GM great again, because GM is jack shit right now. They don't make the Camaro no more. They could be making a new Chevelle. They're GM shit. Make General Motors great again and bring back our Camaro. Have them make a new production line of the Chevelle. Put an LS motor in it. Make the 70 body style look futuristic. Which right now you currently only see in like custom fiberglass builds, but build it like good, like a real car. That'd be badass if when Trump comes back and since he's gonna drill baby drill, they get this ridiculous idea by 2026 out of their heads that where every single car on the road it has to be electric, when we don't even make that much electricity, especially when your electric is coming from a coal power plant or the nuclear power plant. Like, that's just as bad as driving a gas car, if not worse.
The first fighter who has spent his career exposing corruption,
including, don't forget, all the CO2s emitted in the process of mining the materials for the batteries, including that, and then transporting the battery acid to where the car is then built. All that carbon, that's fucking right there. That alone made up for the entire life of a gas car's carbon emissions. They're not environmentally friendly. They need to make cars that run on straight hydrogen. And what's up, Richard Phillips? I'll let him continue talking.
Defending justice and protecting the American people. He played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax, standing as an advocate
That's what happened when I tried looking at your comment, Richard.
And the U.S. Constitution. Kash will work under our Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to bring back fidelity, bravery, and integrity to the FBI.
Good.
Now, given his experience,
I wonder if they're going to fire the 87,000 IRS agents.
Interview with Sean Ryan, I have no doubt that Kash Patel will play a significant role in restoring the FBI to greatness. He's been on my show 4 or 5 times.
Hey, Kash Patel, can you be on my show?
He's extremely bold and brilliant. Now,
I wish he would be
during
on my
the
show.
interview, Sean Ryan asked Kash Patel about the intelligence officers who
They got
lied
the express
about
lanes
Hunter
closed.
Biden's
Why?
and what should be done. Patel stated, strip their security clearances forever. Remember, every one of these people is in the private sector, and they use that to get 7- and 8-figure paydays, to get big government contracts, to go for big defense contracts at intelligence firms. Now, I can't emphasize enough what an outstanding team Trump has assembled. Kash Patel has worked closely with Donald Trump during his first term, serving as a key in key roles such as Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense, Deputy Director of National Intelligence, and Senior testified under oath that Donald Trump did in fact order 10,000 National Guard for January 6th.
But Nancy
and
Pelosi
then the truth came
cock-blocked
out
it.
that was true. But while the future looks bright, the present moment is still dim. Unfortunately, far left Democrats are still doing whatever they can to ruin our country. For instance, New York City has just recently allocated another $220 million to rent the entire Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan in order to house illegal immigrants. And because the hotel is owned by the government of Pakistan, this money won't do America any good. It's during a press conference, Minister of Railways and Aviation, Khawaja Saad Rafiq, stated, the lease agreement is expected to generate revenue. A contract was signed for $1,200.
Listen to that again. I had
at the National Security Council. He also testified under oath that Donald Trump did in fact order 10,000 National Guard for January 6th.
No, bitch.
And then the truth came out that was true. But while the future looks bright, the present moment is still dim. Unfortunately, far-left Democrats are still doing whatever they can to ruin our country. For instance, New York City has just recently allocated another $220 million to rent the Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan in order to house illegal immigrants. And because the hotel is owned by the government of Pakistan, this money won't do America any good.
No, it won't.
It's literally taxpayer money being used to buy off the Pakistani government and enrich the Pakistani government.
Something else.
During a press conference, Minister of Railways and Aviation of around 200 the government of expires. I cannot believe that they are going to be using American taxpayer money in order to put up illegal immigrants in 1,250 rooms and enrich the Pakistani government with taxpayer money to the tune of $220
I want to
million.
speak to a person.
One user over on X stated, the U.S. is the largest contributor to the IMF, the International Monetary Fund.
Saying in the right number.
Pakistan owns the Roosevelt Hotel.
What?
IMF gives
Pakistan bought the
money.
Roosevelt Hotel?
New York pays the Pakistan government to house illegals in New York at the hotel.
I mean, I know
Long
that.
Story short, Americans are paying Pakistan to house illegal immigrants in America.
What?
I swear, I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone
For
episode
real?
where everything is backwards from where it used to be. Hopefully Donald Trump and his team can get in and put an end to all of this nonsense. Now, apparently all of our money is just being used to make every country rich but our own. I'm sick and tired of America Last policies. Why can't we pay U.S. real estate owners to house illegal immigrants? And why are we even housing illegal immigrants? The U.S. is
Agreed.
billions of dollars in debt, actually trillions of dollars in debt. And
Hit
what do
thumbs
they
up
do?
if you agree.
They say, oh yeah, let's take some of that hard-earned American taxpayer money and let's give it away to foreign nations.
Yeah, right. Why?
All right, now during a recent episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, Rogan seemed to admit that he was misled by the mainstream media about Donald. Trump before he had a chance to meet him. Rogan stated, what you're seeing with Trump, regardless of his flaws, is a massive, concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is to the point where most people think that way. Most people think that way in media anymore. Now, thankfully, Rogan was able to see the truth before the presidential election, as his endorsement surely helped Donald Trump win a landslide victory. That interview got over 41 million views on YouTube, tens of millions more on X. And
Man, I wish Mr. Trump would make a guest appearance on my YouTube and I can ask him some questions, even if I can't get to the White House. Or, the Capitol Secretary room.
tens of millions more over on Spotify. So thank goodness for Joe Rogan, right? Let me know over in the comments, do you think that Joe Rogan...
Comment what you think about all that. What do you guys think about it?
trust of the American people. Trump's Operation Warp Speed was a massive success.
Yes, it was.
The COVID response was a rampant waste of taxpayer money. And never again should the United States do a lockdown. The lockdown had now been proven to help COVID better than any of the bullcrap from Pfizer, Moderna, and
Or
Johnson
headaches.
& Johnson. But what do I know? I'm just a guy here on the internet. All right, now back to the Hunter Biden pardon story. Investigative journalist Laura Loomer went on a rant today against Republicans, and I'm so glad she did because she summed up many of my own feelings about the Republican Party, the treatment of Donald J. Trump, and the weakness of GOP leaders. Let me read this, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with
Leave it in
Laura
my
Loomer?
comments too.
Here's what she wrote. Obviously, Joe Biden is a liar and his son is a criminal. But you know who we should be most angry at over the pardon of Hunter Biden? If we are looking at this objectively and without emotion, the House Republicans, people specifically like Jim Jordan,
Like,
James
subscribe,
Comer,
share, hit thumbs up. I
Marge-
gotta end this here. Thanks for watching.